Every week we go to American Express and sovereignbank.com and we download recent activity because it's much quicker to do that than go through the statements and hand enter it. This way we're able to reconcile faster. To start, go to the banking menu, online banking center. From here, it will give you two options to launch either American Express or Sovereign Bank, and you can also see the last date that it was downloaded, which gives you the ability to download from that date only to negate any double transactions. I'm going to start first with American Express since it's a bit simpler and they have a more intuitive platform. You click Receive Transactions. The last date was 6/11. The Amex Gold is an old card, so don't pay attention to that date. It's just stored data. So it prompts us to download data, takes us to the American Express website, and this is where we enter credentials in to the site, and all of this can be found in QuickBooks because that's where we store all of our password data for this type of thing. Now, typically it would say since 6/11. Sometimes it doesn't always do that, so I'm going to do it since June 3rd, since June 9th, and since June 10th. They all happen to fit in that date range. It's pretty good at recognizing what's already been downloaded in terms of not re-downloading something, but it can make an error. I click open, and then it prompts me with two options, either to save the data or to just strictly read the data directly into QuickBooks. We read the data directly into QuickBooks because we want to deal with it now. So import now, okay, and it updates it, and you can then see after it's been successfully read into QuickBooks that the new transactions are here to be opened. I'm now going to go do Sovereign Bank, switch the menu. I'm going to click Receive Transactions. This will take me to the Sovereign Bank menu. From here I will enter in my user ID, and inside the Sovereign Bank platform, which is a little bit less sophisticated than American Express, I click Reporting. I want to go back to Online Banking Center to see the last date, which was 6/9, and go back to the welcome screen. I'm going to do a statement report. In here, I'm going to cut this date out. I'm going to do 6/09/2010 tab. I'm actually going to download until 6/24. Now, typically I would only do through that Sunday because I'd be doing this on a Monday, but might as well get as much data as possible since it's later in the week. All accounts, and you click Download to QuickBooks. Instead of downloading directly, it tells us that it was created. It makes you press refresh, gives it time to build the file, and as soon as you press refresh once or twice, typically the file's waiting here. Gonna have to press it twice. And here's the file ready, and we're going to open that as well, and we're going to import that directly into QuickBooks. The next step is to go back to the Online Banking Center and actually start to read all the transactions into QuickBooks. Here you can see all the different checking accounts and their different activity. Starting with the most simple, most basic one is the two deposit accounts, and that's Garment Valet and Laundry Basket. These two are deposit accounts, meaning the merchant services directly download into these. Basically what we do here is we match these all. I always click Show because the new transactions that are created using renaming rules are never correct. The two ones, the matched ones, are correct always. So click Show. And right here it has a bunch of activity that needs to be entered. So I go through the payments one by one. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to use the memo to see it was a transfer to 8288. It tells me a wrong expense, so I'm going to type in old 8288 as the account. And the class, since it's a balance sheet account, is Husky Express. Payee is definitely not me, so it's important to change it to Sovereign Bank. And as you notice, that changed what I just did there, so it's important to be careful in looking at all of this. The next one, once again, is the same transfer. It memorized it this time. Class is Husky Express, add to QuickBooks. Next one is the same one. It memorized it. We're going to go to Husky Express, add to QuickBooks, and once again, this is a internet transfer to 5955, which is a personal account, which actually is to me, and that was for payroll salaries. It knows that, and the class for that is Husky Express because I work for Husky Express, not Garment Valet. Next, if you look at all of these are all deposits. These are all coming from the merchant account, so I can click Add Multiple. It gives me this ability to then quickly move through all of these from the Garment Valet account go into undeposited funds because I copy and paste. I'm going to just move down. The reason we do that is because when we're entering the sales report and the deposits, we're entering a lot of money that takes 3 or 4 days to be deposited. So we'll put that in undeposited funds, and right now what we're doing is we're moving it from undeposited funds into the bank account since we're doing that. And we're going to tag all of this currently as Boston Garment Valet. Eventually this will be broken up between the two regions, but right now from a cash flow standpoint it's slow enough in the other regions that we can tag it all as Boston. Click Add Selected, and this account is now complete. I am going to move back now by pressing Done, and I'm going to move on to the Laundry Basket account, which is similar, and also old 8288. Now the Laundry Basket account usually is a once again press show, has many more transactions, but has of much lesser volume. Once again, this is a transfer to 8288. Salaries, payroll. That's not recognize it as me, but really it's Sovereign Bank. Old 8288. Sovereign Bank, as I said, is archaic. It has very bad memorization for this process. Retail internet transfer to 8719. That's one of our other banking accounts, and this is our Sovereign checking. And so this is also the class Husky. And finally, last but not least, internet transfer to 5955, which is Dominic Coriel, and that is for payroll, and this is for Husky Express. Now all of these can be added as multiple, and we do the Laundry Basket. We don't use undeposited funds. We go directly against storefront sales since they're such small dollar amounts, and we do the class as Laundry Basket. Now I'm not going to show you all of that now because I want to move on, and I'll move on to the two checking accounts, Sovereign 8719 and old 8288. Quite simply, 53 transactions. The majority of them are most likely matched. As you can see, 33. We have a total of 20 that are not matched, and basically what you do is you go through each single one of these. You click on the Show Splits and Memos, so you can see the memo. Sometimes this memo doesn't do you much good. You won't know what it's for. You leave it miscellaneous unclassified because we will spend time to actually procure and go through that account that's unclassified. Now if there is something descriptive that's in the memo, such as hopefully this is a descriptive one. It's not a descriptive one. AT&T payment, then that makes it very simple to know that this is actually for wireless, which is the account, and the class is Boston Garment Valet. There's actually a split in there, so I would split that typically. And I do that by copying that account and splitting it 70, 30, 80, 20, however it is, and clicking Add to QuickBooks. Next video will be the other checking accounts.